Hello fellow leggers, you are joining us for a festive treat. We are at the Leicester Curve.
To see Irving Berlin's White Christmas. If this doesn't make us feel festive, I don't know what will.
So stick around to find out how many stars.
And whether it's break a leg
or leg it. Yeah, we're at the Leicester Curve. I've got to say, it's a really interesting venue. It's a real new modern theatre, and the way it works is inside the central hub is actually the theatre. There's a big main house, and that stage then doubles up then into a studio theatre. That's in the middle of the building. You can, as the public, walk around the outside, and we just walked past now and they had these big huge shutters up where you could actually see straight through into the backstage area, the wings, all the costume changing parts, all onto the stage as well. So it's a really interesting space.
Yeah.
And the concept as a theatre, the dressing rooms are actually on the outside as well. So the actors have to walk through the public space to get to the central hub. It's a really intriguing theatre. It's really almost transparent.
Yeah, and I think just an opportunity to come and explore is a really fascinating thing. You know, if you're interested in how theatre is put together, and there's nothing more exposed than they are at the Leicester Curve.
It's kind of nice and magical. It's nice to see how things operate, to see that backstage area. There's always an air of mystery about that, and I think that's what's really nice about this design.
Yeah.
That's just the venue.
That's
anyway,
just the
we're
venue.
seeing White Christmas.
We're seeing White Christmas.
What do we need to know about this piece?
Based on the 1954 Paramount movie of the same name, which starred Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye. The musical itself has music and lyrics by Irving Berlin and a book by David Ives and Paul Blake. Now, it's a classic tale of friendship, camaraderie, hope and love. So hopefully everything that Christmas is about, right?
Okay, what else do we need to know about creatives?
Yeah, directed by Curve artistic director Nikolai Foster and features choreography from two-time Olivier Award winner
Stephen Meyer.
Now Nikolai has managed to pull together an unbelievable cast for this, which includes Emma Williams in the role of Betty, Olivier nominee Dan Burton as Phil. I've got a bit of a soft spot for Dan actually, since seeing him in Betty Blue Eyes, Legally Blonde and Gypsy, which Stephen Meyer also choreographed.
Okay.
Monique Young as Judy and ex-Hollyoaks and Strictly Come Dancing star Danny Mac as Bob.
He's a talented young man,
Isn't he? You always think about these ex-soap stars, you worry about it when they're in it, but Danny has proved that he is a sensation, a phenomenal talent.
Running time?
Running time, 2 hours and 25 minutes, including a 20-minute interval. So that's where we'll be catching you next. So stick around for our 30-second interval breakdown.
And hang around to the end to find out our thoughts and how many stars. It's the interval, which means it is time for the Break-a-Leggers
30-second interval breakdown. Go! What do you think so far?
I think it's some really lovely choreography performed by a really solid, strong, brilliantly talented leading cast. The whole ensemble is great as well. I don't know the story as such. The story's a bit meh, but the numbers are great. What about you?
Yeah, I think it goes to show that Made at Curve productions are fabulous, and some of the best theatre productions are being made right here in the East Midlands. It's beautiful to look at. The audience are enraptured. It's enchanting.
We've come to the end of White Christmas, and it's so nearly Christmas. We should say Merry Christmas to all of you who partake in the Christmas
time,
Christmas
time
time
festival. And if you don't, just
happy
enjoy
holidays.
and enjoy having a few days off work
because we're diverse like that.
Because we're diverse like that. It's,
So,
it's not all about Christmas.
But for those who do, Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
We should say that. We hope you're having a lovely, stress-free, chilled time with your family.
As if it's ever that. As if it's ever stress-free and chilled with family involved.
Family stress-free.
No,
don't go
it's
together.
Probably not.
Anyway, White Christmas.
Yes.
So you go first. What do you think of this?
I've got to say the production is everything in this piece. It's just stunningly visual, committed performers, a really vast, sweeping score. But where the story comes into play, I'm not sold. I think it's harps back to a more innocent, childlike period where people were happy to go to the theatre and just see nice costumes on stage and see some lovely dance moves.
The days where cinema was young.
Yeah,
and it was
cinema.
all about Paramount.
Oh, of
yeah,
course.
the big screen, the silver screen was young, and it was all about those kind of Bing Crosby things, and it was all about the big production number.
Yeah.
The story is boy meets girl, some very loose things pulling them apart. Are they going to get together or not? But anyway, we'll just have these big fabulous 5 to 10 minute production numbers, and it's all about the production numbers.
And if that's what theatre is to you, if it is those moments of wonder where a set is revealed and then, you know, someone comes out and does a beautiful, you know, sings a heartfelt ballad, or does a lovely, you know, number and moves across the floor in such a beautifully dynamic way, then this is the production for you. If you were a theatre goer that loves a story and loves a bit of grit and maybe a bit of drive or a bit of drama, then probably not. But, you know, theatre, there's something out there for everybody, and I'm glad that this is a great production of a show that is legacy. It's a legacy piece.
Yeah, I can't agree more. It's all about the production. The production is great. We'll probably talk more about the elements, but the choreography is great. Stephen Mear, I don't even know if it's all Stephen Mear or whether he's got a fantastic dance captain in this cast who has whipped the whole company into shape, because there was not an arm, a look, a head, a finger, a toe out of place. Everyone was so sharp and together and perfectly in time as a whole ensemble and leading company. The choreography was great.
And I would say it is a finely tuned machine. Still talking about production, very slightly here. I would say it goes so far as to rival and in some cases surpass any West End Mame house.
You could pick this up and pull it straight into the Drury Lane. Is that where 42nd Street was?
Yeah, it is.
It could go straight into there. It's of that calibre.
Yeah, it is.
It's so good. Even though I wasn't a big fan of the story, I like something more juicier, more meatier. I was just watching it. I wasn't invested. There was no peril. There was no real sense of drama in there. Besides that,
it didn't
my
matter.
feelings of that, it was just nice to look at.
Yeah.
The lighting was fantastic.
Yeah, lighting.
Lighting was really good.
Lighting by Mark Henderson.
Mark Henderson did a great job with the lighting. Also, I thought the set was great, considering the space seemed vast, and there were so many people on the stage, and we're in so many different locations, and yet it zip zap zoomed across.
Zip zap zoom. Michael Taylor, well done on the set.
Michael Taylor, well done on the set.
Job. Okay. Let's talk about some performances. I mean, the ensemble is vast, and we could be here all day if we pick those out. But
there's also a younger Leicester stage company that are also filling out some of the ensemble parts. So that was
there
nice
they
to
are.
see.
Well done to you guys. Well done to you.
So they were pretty good supporting.
Yes, but I mean, in terms of production, we'll come on to the main four in a moment. But I'd say let's very quickly mention Martha Watson, played by Wendy Mae Brown. We saw Wendy Mae Brown play Oda Mae Brown in Ghost. We've got a review of that. You can catch that up there. And I think she was even better in this than she was in Ghost for me. Her comic timing was great, and her vocal ability. She's got this amazingly soulful, Aretha Franklin-esque. I want to say it comes from the bosom, her voice. It really does, and it booms and fills the whole auditorium.
She's a great character.
I loved her.
The audience loved her.
They did. She was hilarious.
Definitely worth mentioning. Of the lead four,
let's not go on to the lead four just yet.
Oh, there's more.
Yeah, I just wanted to say Sion Tudor Owen as Ezekiel Foster. Have you been watching Making a Murderer? Because your performance was very Stephen Avery in this piece.
Almost channeling.
Yeah, you were channeling that sort of lumberjack kick sort of things at times, which
That was
I
a
found
really interesting
fascinating.
Part there. We were kind of intrigued as to where there's a bit of a love interest there between the stage manager, which was a really interesting modern take.
Yeah,
adding the diversity and the equality.
And Gary Robson as General Henry Waverley. especially can't wait to see you perform as Harry S. Truman in something, because you rocked that. I thought you were very Truman-esque.
Okay, are we ready to move on to the main?
Yes, let's talk about the main four. And there are 4 people in this that are, there's always at least 2 of them on stage, and they work so tightly together.
I think who stood out was the male stood out more, because I think it's more about their story. So they're driving pretty much everything. It's a very male heavy, well, it's a legacy piece, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
But I think Dan Burton was absolutely fantastic.
I feel like I called this years ago. I mean, seeing in an ensemble in the West End and thinking this guy is worth so much more than this ensemble, and this guy will be a much more than this ensemble. And now he's an Olivier nominee, and here he has gone to show that actually he's one of the most talented people working right now in terms of triple threat: song, dance and acting. This guy has charisma by the bucket load as well.
Oozing, it's seeping and spilling and splashing all over the stage.
Take your eyes off him. It's unfortunate. I feel sorry for some scenes, for the other people in some scenes, because for me it was just all about Dan.
It's true. He got his nod for Tulsa in Gypsy, in which he had, it was about 5-10 minute scene towards the end of the first act. That's kind of the big number. It's almost like this is now his show.
Yeah.
It has been fleshed out into a complete
It's Tulsa the musical.
It's almost Tulsa the musical, and you're right, he's surrounded by dancers quite often, and yet your eye is drawn to him, and just his smile, the way he sells it, and the way he embodies it, and the way he just is.
He's a sensation. Let's stop. Sorry, we're inflating his ego wildly now, but do you know what? Worth every single compliment we could pay
Mr.
him.
Mac.
Let's talk about Danny Mac, another Dan. That must have got confusing. I think in the rehearsal room, you shout out Dan, and everybody turns round. What do you do?
But Danny Mac was great.
Danny Mac was great.
He's a perfect leading man. He suits this very well. He has the voice for it, and he's a great mover as well. We know that from Strictly.
Yeah, he's beautiful to look at. He's got a great physique. He's got good stage presence. I like him a lot.
Yes, the females were great, played by.
Yeah, let's move on to some of the females in the cast now. Mainly like Betty and Judy are their names. Betty played by Emma Williams, again Olivier Award nominee for Half a Sixpence. And she played Charlie Stemp's love interest in that.
It just moves so well on stage, and it's just so natural, beautiful singing voices, encompass the choreography.
She comes into her own when she's on her own. That's the thing with her. When she gets a scene where it's like a cabaret club scene, and I was thinking, I would pay to see this woman in concert, you know, and I feel like I'm at one of her concerts now, and she's just, again, a wonderful, talented, just engaging. I was engaged with her.
Some really nice vocal dynamics, almost like pushing out and belting, then dropping really so light and just floating the notes out. Really nice technique.
And someone with slightly less experience, but I say just as strong in production against 3 actors who have got bags of, was Monique Young as Judy Haynes. But looking at her credits, she's only got a handful, but by God, I wouldn't believe it. If you told me she'd been working in the West End for 20 years, other than the fact that she looks fabulous and young, I would believe you.
So we've talked a lot about the piece, but we always fail and we neglect the director.
Yes, we do neglect the director.
We forget the directors, unless it's bad, then the director is the first one. But we forget when it's good.
Yeah.
And the direction of this was great.
The direction is its saving grace for me in terms of where the story goes, because it doesn't go far. It doesn't go far enough with the story. But I feel like a director has said, okay, the story is what it is, it's superficial, but Nikolai has gone, then we need to make this all singing, all dancing, and bloody brilliant.
And fantastic.
Yeah. And he has. And he absolutely has. Yeah. And he's at home in this venue. It's his home, and you can tell he's comfortable and trusts the people working around him, which is a great thing.
It's a good thing he does, because they are very good. They have pulled out their best for this production.
Now, there's production footage out there, so I don't think this is too much of a spoiler, but it's White Christmas, and what would a White Christmas be without a little bit of snow? And we get snow in this production, which is amazing, and the most joyous thing happened to me as we were sat a few rows behind a young Down syndrome guy who, as soon as the snow started coming out, threw his hands to the sky in absolute jubilation, and was then, when you were invited to your feet at the end, to join in with the singing with the cast, and he was in his element. And for me, that was the best thing about this production. Seeing an audience member literally having the time of their lives, and my heart melted in that moment, and I would love to live that again in every production that I see.
It's nice, isn't it, when, you know, theatre touches people. That's why we come to the theatre, right? To be pulled on an emotional journey. And I wish we could just live as though we don't give a damn.
Yeah.
And when we're having a great time, just get up and stand out and express.
Show the fact that you are enjoying yourself. Express yourself. And he did, and he spoke for so many of the audience in that moment who were clearly having a wonderful time.
Well, that's a nice, interesting insight. But apart from that, I guess you're probably wondering how many stars we are going to give White Christmas that is currently playing here at the Leicester Curve.
Irving Berlin's White Christmas, we are going to give
4 stars for this piece.
A fantastic production, rescues what is a paper-thin story, but is worth coming to see for some fantastic performances from the central cast, and just a really great evening out where you can think about, you know, forgetting the troubles of the world for a while, and when things were a bit simpler.
Just be happy.
Just
being happy, being merry.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
White Christmas. I think that is it. It's not Hamlet. It's not a Macbeth. It's not even a Fiddler on the Roof in terms of its dramatic content. But it is a great production, great numbers.
It makes up for it in so many other ways.
Fantastic cast.
That's just what we think.
Just what he thinks.
Yeah, it's just what he thinks as well. And I mean, what good's that? What do you think? Have you head to Leicester and seen this show? Then comment down below. Are you thinking about it? Then come and let us know that you've been. We love to hear
it's
about
a
it.
fantastic venue. Like I said at the start, the theatre is so interesting, so new, so modern. Just as we were coming out as well already, the shutters were up and we could see straight onto the stage. The cast were crossing past.
Fascinating.
It's like they're in with us.
Yeah.
But hey, come and enjoy it for yourselves.
We're the Breaker-Leggers,
and we'll catch you again soon.
Bye.